Hello YouTube, back again with the continuation of the video on shortening the truck bed on a Chevy pickup. So I've got the back and the front cut off, and just want to let you guys see the progress I have made. So this is the back of the bed, and this is the section here that's going to get welded back. Like that. So this was about this long, so this is where I cut the 8-inch section of metal out, and that section is over here. This is this 8-inch section of metal, and it's in pretty good shape. So this piece over here is the front section, and you can tell it's in bad shape. So that's the 1 foot section that was cut off of the front. And the remaining portion of the bed still has some bad areas in it. And since I have this good 8-inch section from the back, I'm going to stitch weld it in the place of the rest of this bad section in the front. And so that's what I'm in the process of doing. And I got to this point, and I wanted to show you guys. Some of you guys will already know this. When you're cutting a long span with a cut-off wheel, die grinder, that kind of thing, you have to be careful, or the blade or the cutoff wheel will get pinched in between the metal or wood or whatever you're cutting. And when it does that, it can either shear the blade off and it'll come flying at you, or sometimes it'll jerk the tool out of your hand. Either case is dangerous, and I wanted to show you guys the method that I have. The method I have for cutting a long section like this when I'm by myself. So basically what I do is start from one end, doesn't really matter which end, and I cut to the middle, or roughly the middle of the panel that I'm trying to cut. Okay, once I get approximately to the middle, I will start from the opposite end and cut the opposite way. And I leave myself about 1 inch or 1.5 inches section there that is uncut. So that's the last thing that I cut, and I'm just going to demonstrate how I do that when I get to this point. This thing is hanging here by itself at this point on just about 1 inch, 1.5 inches section of metal holding it. And the way that I do it is I'm going to take my cutoff wheel and I'm just going to score this metal, which scoring is just lightly cutting the surface of it. And you'll feel the metal start to give way under your free hand here. And if this is a bigger piece or something heavier, you can use your knee to brace yourself. But once you feel that starting to give, you just shut your grinder off, lay it on the bed, and you just bend this back and forth a couple of times, and it'll snap off in your hand. So I'm going to get my PPE on and start grinding this, cutting this. Okay, as you can see, I've cut this. There's about 1 inch section there that I scored. So I'm going to take and just bend this a couple of times. And snaps off, just like so. And there's a little rust in the cross member. Okay, so that's going to conclude this. I'll probably bring you guys back in whenever I start welding this up. And we'll continue on from there. Have a good day. Welcome back, YouTube, to the MTX Automotive channel. Just wanted to bring you guys in. I think the last time I concluded a video, I just finished welding up the back of the bed here. So I was turning my attention to the front, and so I cut 8 inches off of that. That's the back, so it got 8 inches. This is that 8-inch section. Okay, it was in pretty good shape, so I'm going to seam it in the front, because the front was in pretty sad shape. So I'd already cut 12 inches off the front, and plus an additional 8 just to get rid of all the rust. So this piece is in pretty good shape, so it's going back on the front. Now the 12 inches that I cut off the front, which is right here, it had a cross member 2 inches back from the front of the bed. So I'm going to put a cross member back in there, which is what I've got going on here. So I've got this all, I sandblasted it yesterday, and it looks horrible, to say the least, but I can explain all this. So basically, well, I had this off, sandblasted the inside and outside, and then this panel, and then I sprayed some black undercoating in there while I had it off. Except for this, under this edge, I taped that off, and then the factory spot welded every other rib going down through there, and so that's what I'm doing. So before I sprayed my undercoating underneath here, I taped off little bitty areas where I knew I'd be welding. This gray is weld-through primer. Most of you guys probably know what that is, made by 3M. So anyway, so that's what the gray stuff is. So it makes it look horrible, but it is, it's about the best you can do as far as trying to protect from corrosion or future corrosion. It's a lot better than doing nothing. Let's put it like that. So anyways, I'm going to get suited up and get this buzzed on, and I'll bring y'all back when I get this completed.